It's nobody's birthday. Don't light a candle on the cake. It's nobody's birthday. It was just a big mistake. It's nobody's birthday. No need to uncork the wine. 'Cause it's nobody's birthday but mine. It's nobody's birthday. No tail on the donkey today. No need to celebrate being alive when your dreams get stolen away. It's nobody's birthday, so leave the party hats behind. 'Cause it's nobody's birthday but mine. There'll be no balloon animals, no Chuck E. Cheese, no animatronics singing dogs. There'll be none of this for me. And don't give me any fucking birthday cards. I don't need your sympathy. The Hallmark stores are all closed and shit. There'll be none of this for me. It's nobody's birthday. There'll be no big surprise. The candle's flames were doused away by the teardrops from my eyes. Here we go. It's nobody's birthday. No need for presents at this time. 'Cause it's nobody's birthday but mine. No, it's nobody's birthday but mine.
Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3. Check. Testing. Test. Test. Help. Hey Santa, what time is it?
The time is 12:02 p.m.
Hey Santa, what is the weather?
Let me just tune to the weather station. Here we go. The current weather is 62 degrees Fahrenheit with clear skies and sun. Today's forecast has mostly sunny weather with a high of 62 degrees and a low of 40 degrees.
Hey Santa, why do you have an English accent? Huh. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Henry's Kitchen, where today we've got a very special broadcast, a bonus broadcast, if you will, that's being sponsored by a meal service called EveryPlate, which I've used, and I'm going to say that I like it a lot. I'll talk about it throughout the whole thing. I'm actually going to demonstrate one of their meals, but as a chef who's been doing this a very long time, sometimes it's kind of nice to see other what else is going on out there. There's a lot of noise going on in my apartment area. There's like somebody banging on the walls and shit next door, and then there's I guess some kind of construction going on in the garage, so I apologize about that ahead of time. But anyway, but I'm going to be not only cooking, but I'm going to do some music and some games for you as well. Everyone type Forson says, at what age is it appropriate to tell my dog that he's adopted? I don't know that your dog is going to really know the difference between being adopted or not. I know that there's been experiments done on how much cognitive ability a dog has, but it's not clear whether they are capable of abstract thoughts like who their parents are and stuff. Cats, on the other hand, I believe definitely are. Checking on my cat, Roast Beef, who was there, but now isn't anymore. So let's see here. Probably just as well, because I'm going to need to use my phone, which is what I use as the camera for that. Got a couple of song requests today. Let's see here. The domain GPCE. Hey, my friend. Hope all is well. Thank you. The domain GPCE is my friend who has had me on his podcast, and it was very cool. So thanks. Good to see you, and good to see everybody. You know, I'd like to start right off with a song here, actually, if you don't mind. One of my favorite songs was requested on the Discord by someone named Dave Buzzin. Dave B. Buzzin, capital B, lowercase b, Buzzin, Z-Z-I-N. But since they're making a lot of noise in my apartment, maybe I can make a little bit of noise back. This is a song that I grew up with, actually. I remember being in my Camaro in the school parking lot, telling the other kids not to smoke cigarettes because it was going to ruin their lungs, but they didn't listen to me. And then eventually I just said, if you can't beat them, join them, and I started smoking myself. Domain GPCE, hope to hear some chestnuts toasting. Favorite holiday song? Yeah, I'll be doing that for sure. I think it's been a big hit. But let's go ahead and do a little Black Sabbath to open up the show here. If you don't like this, then you're too old. All day long I think of things, but nothing seems to satisfy. Think I'll lose my mind if I don't find someone to pacify. Can you help me occupy my brain? he has some kind of epilepsy where loud sounds trigger a response. So I'm gonna just do sort of a laid back acoustic verse. My coffee's ready here. A lot going on. I need someone to show me the things in life that I can't find. I can't see the things that make true happiness. I must be blind. Make a joke and I will sigh, and you will laugh and I will cry. Happiness I cannot feel, and love to me is so unreal. And so as you hear these words telling you now of my state, I tell you to enjoy life. I wish I could, but it's too late. Not sure if we can get a shot of not that, but my cat. He's very disturbed by that song, so are you okay, buddy? I know, that's called rock and roll. They say if it's too loud, you're too old, but he is very old, so that could actually be what's going on there. I guess I'm going to feed him some food here so that he doesn't bother me throughout the whole thing. Let's get this back set up. So that, again, was the song called Paranoid, which was requested on the Discord by Dave B. Buzzin' Paranoid. Hold on, I'm going to feed my cat roast beef real quick because I think he's having some issues. He's got hypoglycemia, which means that he can't go too long without eating. I also have a little coffee that I just made here. Sorry I'm not getting right into the cooking. I think it's a good idea to ease your way into any situation. The apron's nice because you can use it to wipe things down. Oh, okay. It looks like I'm missing stuff, so let's get into that. Sun Sulu has resubscribed Tier 1 for 7 months. Thank you very much, Sun Sulu. And Crazy R Us Doggy, or maybe Crazy Russ Doggy, gifted 10 Tier 1 subs. Thank you so much, Crazy Russ Doggy. Good to have you along. And I hope I'm getting the name pronunciation right. Best Mod 2022 says, bro, you were looking depressed yesterday, bro. Yeah. I think a little bit of that might be the fact that I'm growing a beard, which always makes people look a little bit more depressed. It can go either way. You can either look cool, like a lot of movie stars do, or you can look depressed. So that might have been what was going on there. I still have the beard, and I'm still a little depressed. Matt Dunno, this is probably the best content on Twitch. Wow. That's saying something. I really appreciate that, Matt Dunno. That's very nice of you. I want to see if I left anybody else out here. Pravden Red has resubscribed for 5 months. Thanks, Pravden Red. As well as Matt Dunno subscribed. Thank you, Matt Dunno. Good Old Needle has resubscribed for 3 months. Raziel's Lament, I know that name, has resubscribed. Thanks, Raziel's Lament. I think we've done some of your song requests. And Beelzebub, who's also one of our moderators, Beelzebub has been an incredibly supportive person when it comes to music suggestions, Discord stuff, and now gifting 5 tier 1 subs. That's very nice of you, Beelzebub. And 10 Carl has resubscribed for 4 months. 10 Carl, I will say, is the person who told me that you can make your Alexa sound like Santa.
Okay, here's Santa, holiday personality for Alexa. Allow me to welcome someone who is a big fan of the holiday season. Santa.
Ho, ho, ho. Well, hello there, everyone.
I'm not sure what's going on.
Welcoming me into your world. You are all set with this device. It might take us a minute to set some stuff up. To talk to me, just say, hey, Santa.
Yeah, this is exciting. We're both here to help. When you need me, just say Alexa.
Or hey, Santa, when you need me. You can speak with me on other compatible Echo devices.
Hey, Santa, stop talking.
I wish I could help with this skill, but we have our hands full preparing for the big day.
So that was 10 Carl. Thank you very much for letting me know that I could do that. That's fun. Oh, we've got a roast beef situation happening here. He just used the bathroom, and I guess it's common. I didn't know this, but apparently when cats are done going to the bathroom, they do this kind of war cry. And the reason for it is fascinating. Apparently it's their way of warning the other ones in their pack that it's time to run away, because they just made something that smells and it's going to be attracting predators. So this is fascinating. So if you see a cat use the bathroom, go number 2 or whatever, come out the door and start doing a loud battle cry, that means I just made a smell, it's time to get the hell out of here. And I think humans probably do something very similar. Gosma Domar says, I love war crimes. No, I was talking about war cries, just to be clear. But that's cool. Rosaria says, mine just starts sprinting around. Well, it sounds like you have a much younger cat. Yeah, that was it. That was the war cry. It looks like he wants to go maybe outside. I'm not sure what's going on over there. Oh, he's going back in there to do more business, I guess. Sorry, I know this isn't the most engaging television that there is, but in a weird way it kind of is. I don't know. Let's get back to business here. Suspiciously missing sock says roast beef has committed tons of war crimes. Yeah, I'm sure he has in his wild state. He's a rescue, so I don't really know. But you know, all's fair in war when you're talking about wild animals. So okay, there's stars and skeletons. Yeah, I yell when I use the bathroom too, but I think that's due to the blood in my urine. Okay, so, and this is just a side note. You don't have to feel like you have to share everything that's personal with you. I do like it though, because it shows that there's trust among us, and that's cool. But I think if you do have that situation, that's stars and skeletons. You might have either a hematological problem, or kidney stones, or an infection of some sort, or there could have been some trauma, like maybe you were punched in the stomach. Tuberculosis, I think, causes that. So there's a couple things in there. Uh-oh. Roast beef is doing his war cry. It's not as strong as it was when he was a young kitty. but he's trying to tell us all to get the hell out of here because he just made something that's going to smell and attract predators. But I think it almost might be more likely to repel predators. He's trying to get into the camera here. Boy, this is quite the... All right. This stream's getting off to kind of a weird start, and I like that. Honest Tozus, watching Punching Henry, then see Henry is streaming. Guess the movie can wait. Yeah, the stream here is live. It's happening right now. I wish there was a way I could prove it to you. I don't have a newspaper anymore or something, but it is live. I can answer your questions, I guess. Best Mod 2022 says he wants me to congratulate him. That could be partly what's happening there. But yeah, he's definitely a little restless. All right. Well, I think it's time that we start talking about cooking, because that's what this is after all. It's a cooking stream. We've done some music, and that was exciting. But I'm going to talk about this situation. It's called EveryPlate, and you might remember a couple months ago I did a demonstration of a boxed meal service, Factor, which was very good as well, but for totally different reasons. And this situation is they send you the ingredients, and you make your own food. And as a trained chef myself, and I know a lot of you are students in the culinary world, you might find this a little bit more satisfying because you did it. You did it yourself. You made it. So you could cook it, eat it, and then do a little battle cry to warn predators that you've made something. Tom XH says, a couple months ago I was on a meth binge, so I missed that stream. Yeah, well, I think you can see it on the VOD, if I'm not mistaken. But just to get one thing out of the way here, there should be a link underneath my screen that links to the website. And I'm going to say this. If you go to everyplate.com and use this code, POGHENLIPS149, all one word, for just $1.49 per meal in the first box and 20% off the next 2 boxes. This is incredibly cheap. So $1.49 is about what the charge is going to be per meal. I mean, and they're good meals, so it's actually less than literally a Starbucks regular coffee. Not even like a latte, just the regular coffee that they have. Archmage Kill says, I think the painting is upside down. Oh, geez. You know what? You're absolutely right. I'm going to explain this painting situation. I got it at the Goodwill because I thought it might be nice to have something flowery in the kitchen that'll make it look like a nice background for a cooking show. And I'll be honest, I'm not a total connoisseur when it comes to the art of choosing art. But I don't know if these are supposed to be hanging from the top or from the bottom. Archmage Kale says they're coming from the top. I think that means they're stalagmites as opposed to stalactites. But I'm not sure which one. There's no information on the painting saying which way you're supposed to put it. So Mr. Vade says, what was that? Why are the flowers growing out of the sky? Yeah, see, that's what we're trying to debate. It's Kate X says, are we sure it's not the microwave poltergeist flipping the painting? Yeah, we had a terrible incident back during Halloween where the microwave, not only could you see faces in the screen door or in the the microwave door, as some people pointed out. But also it started flickering and doing weird stuff, so we had to get rid of it. And a very generous supporter named Too Much Junk Food generated enough money to buy a brand new unhaunted microwave, and it hasn't given us any problems. So I appreciate that. And Jolly Austin 1 also contributed to the tax on it. And someone named Anonymous paid for the chocolate bar that I got when I was on the way out of the Home Depot, and other stuff too. So I'm getting some technical advice from Quanto. Right click. Oh, okay, I gotcha. All right. There we go. That's a done deal. I hope that solves the problem. I want to thank Quanto for being a technical advisor throughout this whole ordeal that we call the Henry's Kitchen Twitch stream. Quanto is the only user that has VIP status, and that's because one time he was on his honeymoon in Greece, probably feasting on spanakopita and grape leaves, and literally not left his new bride, but departed from her for a second so that he could give the Henry's Kitchen show some technical advice. And if that's not going to get you VIP status, I don't know what is. So thanks. We'll see if that worked. I appreciate that, Quanto. Hey, it looks like somebody ordered a box already. That's great. You're not going to be disappointed with this, and I'm excited to go into it right now. Let's start doing this right now. I want to make sure I'm not missing anything. JV Stetch cheered 4 bits. Thank you, JV Stetch. And H134CHI has resubscribed as well. Saguaro U has resubscribed. Debbie Webby 86. JV Stetch cheered 1 bit. And Pravden Red resubscribed. Sun Sulu. Okay, so since we have a different format that's sponsored, it might be a little harder for me to always know to go to shout people out, which I like to do, but I'm going to do the best that I can. Astrorath the Grim says, I like roast beef. I like roast beef. Maybe there's a comma in there. Might be torrenting cat videos. You're lagging. Okay. I brought roast beef on the show mostly because I was told that, okay, there we go. Tizit cheered 21 bits. Thanks very much, Tizit. That's awesome. Apparently cats have an appeal that makes people watch their videos. Who's that there? JV's Tech cheered 22 bits. Thanks very much, JV's Tech. I'm hoping that the roast beef thing isn't too much of a problem. Let's start talking about EveryPlate. So it comes in a box like this. E-Kunks just cheered 23 bits. And Bad Doggy cheered 23 bits. I don't know how to pronounce all of these, but that's very nice of you. And Blairn cheered 69 bits. And that's very cool as well. So let's start by opening up our box here. I'm going to... I've got my... I think my address is on here, so I don't know if that matters. I trust most of you. But here. I won't put it under the close-up. All right. Boy, that's not going to work, is it? So you get a box like this. The first thing that it's going to do is it's going to give you your menus. Let's put the box aside for a second. Quanto says, don't trust us. Okay, that's probably good advice. Err on the side of not trusting somebody. So these are our menus, guys. And these are the meals that they have sent us the ingredients for that we're going to make. Smothered and stuffed meatloaves. This is the one that I want to make today. Wow, Lex4 Live just cheered 25 bits. Thanks very much, Lex4 Live. And all of the instructions are very simple, but you still have to have some cooking skills in order to be able to make these. So that's important. This one is called... wow, the domain GPCE cheered 69 bits. That's great. That number 69 keeps coming up. I'm not sure what it's a reference to, but thank you, the domain GPCE. Maybe because this is my 69th stream. I'm not sure if that's true, but it's probably somewhere around there. Pork fried rice with carrots, peas, and scrambled eggs is going to be another one. And then check this out. Firehouse mac and cheese with green pepper and crispy panko crust. I will also say that the dishes that we're making today contain various kinds of meat. There's beef, there's pork, chicken, everything. You can obviously get the vegan ones, and I've made the vegan ones, and they're pretty good. But this is pretty incredible, and we're going to do it right now. So let's see here. Firehouse, I think that means it's probably very spicy. Firehouse was also a rock band in the 80s. Not to be confused with Great White, who had a situation with an actual fire that happened not at the house, but at the club that they were performing at. Just want to make sure everybody's keeping up here. Udvo14 says, I prefer my dishes to be vegetarian free. Yeah, you can go vegetarian free. That's what we're going to be doing today. You can also either have gluten or not gluten. That's the question. Bruce Lee, I noticed your title says cooking and shit, but all I see is shit. Please clarify. Yeah, so cooking and shit, when you say cooking and shit, it means etc. It's just a more informal way to say etc. But it's not literal shit. But I see how you could be confused by that. Astrorat the Grim, is that a new apron? It looks really clean. No, this is the same apron that I've had since 2011, and it is definitely not clean. I don't believe in cleaning any utensils or anything in the kitchen because you're just getting rid of the flavor of the delicious stuff that you made last time, which could be incorporated into your new dishes. And I'm not the first one to think that. There's a famous Italian restaurant in Chicago called Pizza Uno, who claims that they never wash their dishes, or they never wash their stainless, or what is it called, the cast iron skillet, because it has the oils in it. So I'm trying to take after them. Tepid Temptation says it's seasoning. Yeah, that's what it is. It's called seasoning, I believe. Archmage Kale says, my wife's boyfriend and my wife love your streams. My wife's boyfriend is going to order 50 of EveryPlate for me. So excited. Thanks, Henry. Archmage Kale, thank you very much. It sounds like you have a very interesting, I guess you could say sort of a modern setup going on over there. Shaba says, hello, Henry. Me and my mother are huge fans. Wow, thanks, Shaba. Thanks for joining us today. All right. So the first thing I'm going to do, now that I've chosen which dish that I want to make, which is going to be smothered stuffed meatloaves with potato wedges. Let's start gathering our ingredients, shall we? So from our box that they have sent us, we're going to take this out. We get a box of ingredients like that, and then underneath this iced stuff, we have our, here. Probably the first thing that you should do when you open the box is put a lot of this stuff in the refrigerator. That's going to be our meats. It's been nicely packed inside an ice pack. We also have some various sauces here. And then we have our produce and all that kind of stuff. They've even got bread packed away. I will say that one of the cool things about this meal service is that a lot of times when you go shopping, you buy, you know, just a huge thing of rice, for example, and you're never going to use that much rice in your lifetime, especially if you're somebody who lives by yourself with your cat. So they're only going to send you the amount of ingredients that you're going to need for these meals. So that's great. I think that's a good thing. You're not wasting food. Kiroslavia says, are you going to eat the apron if you don't clean it for the seasoning? Yeah, no, you bring up a good point. It's not... The apron isn't edible the way that the pizza at Pizzeria Uno is. So it's not really a very fair analogy that I was using. But also, I'm not very good at maintenance and laundry in general, so I just haven't cleaned it, and I don't really see any reason to. You're just going to wind up messing it up anyway. So, all right. So first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to take the meats that we're not going to use right away today. This is we're going to use this ground beef, but we're not using the ground pork or the ground beef. This is another ground beef. So I'm going to put these in the fridge. Okay. And let's pull out the ingredients that we're going to need for our dish here. It says we want... Okay, first we have to decide, are we making 2 servings or 4 servings? I'm going to go with 2. 12 ounces of potatoes. So let's start by taking out our potatoes. Alexa, how many potatoes is 12 ounces?
12 ounces of potato is equivalent to about 1½ medium potatoes.
Oh, okay. So these are very small, though. Maybe we'll ask Santa. Hey, Santa, how many potatoes in an ounce?
1 ounce of potato is equivalent to about 0.13 medium potatoes.
Okay, 0.13 times 12. I don't know. I think I'm going to take a little bit of license here. I have been cooking for a very long time, and I've been teaching it even longer. So I'm just going to sort of say, well, how many potatoes would be... I think that's probably 2 servings worth of potatoes right there. Okay. Kiroslavia says, no way you have real Santa in your house. Yeah, I want to make sure this is clear. It's not the real Santa in my house. This is a feature on the Amazon Echo that enables you to, instead of using the term Alexa, you can use Santa. Yeah, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to disappoint you on that. Degree Scaffold, your measuring cup might have ounce markings to help with the potatoes. Yes. Yep. That's a great idea. This is, yeah, let's just do that. cannon. So this thing here is about 16 ounces. If we can fit them all in there. Yeah, but then there's all the holes in there. So I'm going to go with this. I think this is going to work. Another good thing about this meal service is, look, obviously I'm a professional cook. I've been doing this a long time. You guys might not be. At the end of the day, you're going to end up with some kind of food that comes from natural ingredients that you can eat. All you have to do is make sure you don't, I don't know, burn it or something, or cut yourself. Helly186 says, I love your stream, but Alexa goes crazy every time you ask questions. I'm sorry about that, and probably just reading your question, I probably had a similar result. Sorry. We've got Borsonvin tipped $5. Thanks, Borsonvin. And there's a message here. Henry, where do you find more of this individual bread slice wrapped in plastic, as well as this awesome 2 single potatoes pack? Is there a website and a promo code? Yes, the website and the promo code are exactly underneath my window there. Look, they're mailing it to you. They don't want to be just mailing you a piece of bread in a manila envelope or something. They're going to have to make sure it's fresh. But the nice thing is you're not buying a whole loaf of bread, because if you're somebody who lives by yourself and listens to a lot of sad music, you're going to end up buying more ingredients than you're going to need. But yeah, throw the questions at me. I'm ready. E. Grazor has resubscribed. Gaming Jacob cheered 420 bits. 420, what an odd number. Thanks, Gaming Jacob. And thanks to Domain GPCE cheered 26 bits, as well as 69 bits. So maybe there's a code if you add 69 to 26. Hey Santa, what's 69 plus 26? Does it not work now? Hey Santa, what's 2 plus 2?
2 plus 2 is 4.
Hey Santa, what's 69 plus 26?
69 plus 26 is 95.
And again, that's not the real Santa. If you're joining us, it's just it's a feature on the new or for Christmas, I guess. Everyone type Forson says, can you ask Alexa what she wants for Christmas? I can. Yuri Tarded cheered 40 bits. Thanks, Yuri. That's very nice of you. Vinny Kitty says, can you confirm the image in the guide is not photographed? So Vinny Kitty wanted to know if this was real or if it was photographed. I'm going to probably say it is photographed, but I think that's okay. Erotica Reading Rabbi says, I like that the EveryPlate recipes use allspice. Yes, fuck big spice. Yeah, allspice is a spice that includes all of the spices. So if you want to use cinnamon, for example, you don't have to buy a whole thing of cinnamon. If you use allspice, you'll get other spices in there, but you'll get your cinnamon, and usually they all kind of go in together. So, and that's the way that you can, as an individual, you can have the power to topple the big spice industry. Okay, so let's get back into business here. I know I keep getting distracted, but that's okay. Hopefully you guys are okay with this. If you are just joining us, we are making smothered and stuffed meatloaves from the EveryPlate meal service. And once again, I'm going to say that if you go to everyplate.com and use code POGHENLIPS149 for just $1.49 per meal in the first box and 20% off the next 2 boxes. You can do this at home. So All right, we've got our potatoes. What are the other things that we need? Green bell pepper. We need 1 green bell pepper, so I'm going to try to find it in here. There it is. We also need 1 yellow onion. Got it right there. Fry seasoning. We need 1 fry seasoning. Is that this? That looks like panko. Frank's Red Hot. Hello Fresh Chicken. Red Hot. Panko. And here's our fry seasoning. Look at that. Borsenven, we need 1 piece of white bread, which we've got right there. We need our ground beef, which I have set aside. This is 8 ounces, I believe. Hey Santa, how many ounces is 240 calories?
From slimekicker.com. 240 calories. 240 kilocalories are in 8 ounces. It is equivalent to 292.68 grams of macaroni and cheese entree, 184.62 grams of pasta, and 83.62 grams of Valenciana-style fiber with meat.
Shredded pepper jack. And the last thing that we need is our Dijon mustard. Dijon. There are going to be things that it's going to assume that every kitchen has, and I'm going to get those ingredients ready. Look, it's got green onions. All right. Let's just get this going here. We've got our pepper jack. How much pepper jack? 1 pepper jack. We're going to put the rest back. 1 bread. We don't need the panko. We need the fry seasoning. 1 green pepper. And then our potatoes. Dijon. 1 onion. And our ground beef. That, I believe, is it. Okay, so now we're going to need some salt and pepper. Okay? This recipe is going to assume that in your home somewhere you have salt and pepper. Most households have it. I had it even when I was in my early 20s. As a matter of fact, I had too much of it. I'd buy it and then I'd do a recipe and it would say put salt to taste, and then I'd be like, oh, I don't have any salt, and I'd go out and buy it, and then all of a sudden I've got these 2 huge things of salt, and I'm still working with the same container. Okay, salt and pepper. We have here. Other things we're going to need: cooking oil, which I have. I've got 1, 2, 3 liquid fluid, which is the same thing. And then I've also got ketchup somewhere. And then brown sugar, which we used yesterday. As well as butter, which of course everybody's got butter. There you go. I'm going to take everything else here and I'm going to put it back in the box. Later I'll put it in the refrigerator. I've already put the meats in the refrigerator, so that's important. It's going to be a lot of work, guys. But what's going to be good about it is that we're going to be making good, healthy food. You know, if you want to put on some music, Alexa, play Dave Grusin, Mountain Dance.
Mountain Dance by Dave Grusin, Mark O'Connor, the Henry Mancini Institute Orchestra, Shelton Bird, Terence Blanchard, Adam Diderich,
Oh
Abigail
yeah, I
Young,
forgot they
Michelle Dawson,
list all the
Zachary
different
Piper,
songwriters.
Karina Gallagher, Ariane Irvin, James Reynolds, Michael Newell, Thomas Cote,
Alexa,
Jaya Varma.
stop. You know, I'm not sure if this would make a difference, but I'm going to ask Santa if he can play it. Hey, Santa, play Mountain Dance by Dave Grusin.
Mountain Dance by Dave Grusin. Mark
I don't
O'Connor,
think Santa wants anything to do with this, apparently. Alexa, stop. Okay. Bourbon Cowboy has subscribed. Thanks, Bourbon Cowboy, along with Doce, or Dose, has subscribed. Yuri Tarded cheered 45 bits. Thanks, Yuri. And Borsenvin tipped $5. Thanks, Borsenvin. And then we got a new one there. That's Rhythma has resubscribed. I'm going to turn the volume up on here so I can hear the alerts better. All right, let's take a look at the job in front of us here. Canon. I got to go to my Canon camera here. Okay. Now it's time to start getting into. There's 6 steps, and 6 is actually pretty damn good. Let's take a look at the first one. Adjust the racks to the top and middle positions and preheat the oven to 425 degrees. So already you can tell this is a good service because they're telling you to preheat the oven right in the beginning. A lot of these things you're halfway through and then it says preheat the oven and you got to wait 20 minutes. So what was it, 425? And let's take out whatever this stuff is. It also says something about the top rack. But I don't think there's enough room there. Take out anything that's in there already. Looks like there was some other. Zasa Lamo has resubscribed. Thanks, Zasa Lamo. And Sniff the Chair has resubscribed. Tier 1. I prefer to separate my allspice ahead of time. Is that okay? Yeah, if you want just cinnamon, it's of course your option if you want to just take out the cinnamon crystals or grounds or whatever and isolate them that way. But that seems like it would be time consuming. Okay. Tepid Temptation says this is true, can pretty much tell the quality of a chef by how early they start preheating the oven. Yeah, absolutely. I've been known during the winter months to just leave the oven on throughout the whole season. Sorry, I have to blow my nose, which normally wouldn't be sanitary, but I'm only cooking for myself, so I'm not worried about germs. Sanus Florida Man says, what cooking level should we be at before attempting this recipe? I would say that you should have basic skills, cutting skills. You probably want to have some type of headwear for your onion cutting. Like I have an Onyo helm. You don't have to have that, but you can have goggles. But you should have a little bit of experience. Not too much, though. But let's go ahead and get back here. There we go. Parasitosis says, why not preheat the pans too? Well, but then I always wind up trying to take them out and forgetting to put one of those mitts on so it burns your fingers. Okay, so let's go ahead. I have a new cutting board for this very occasion. I'm very excited. We at Henry's Kitchen are always trying to think of ways that we can improve the production value. This is a wood grain one. It doesn't mean you have to have this at home to make this recipe. I'm just saying it's preferable. By the way, can you hear me okay? Help! I think it's a little quiet. Test! What kind of purple donut filling as a fruit says, what kind of wood is this? I'm going to guess oak, but that's a guess based on absolutely nothing. Asparagus. Asparagus is a good one because it tests the sibilants. And then help tests the plosives as well as the H sound. Okay, so there's an interesting question here. This is Kokov, says, Henry, how did you become so good at pronouncing the names of food and ingredients that aren't in American? It's a good question. Again, I've been cooking for a long time, and I usually do things phonetically. There's a sauce called Worcestershire sauce, which is from England, I believe, and it's based on a town called Worcestershire. And it's not easy. It doesn't roll off the tongue, but I think part of appearing that you know how to cook from other people's cultures is knowing how to pronounce it correctly. So I'm glad that you picked up on that and that you noticed it. It looks like JV's Tech just cheered 420 bits. Interesting, that number. And then JV's Tech cheered 69 bits. And Zasalamel resubscribed. So, hey Santa, what's 420 plus 69?
420 plus 69 is 489.
There's got to be a code in there somewhere, because I feel like those numbers are too random to be just coincidence. Archmage Kill says, I noticed that your title says smoked and smothered meatloaves. Do I need chloroform and a pillow for this dish? Yeah, by smothered they mean suffocated, basically. There we go. Okay, so let's see what we have here. We're going to adjust our racks to the top and middle positions. Oh, shit. I didn't do the middle position. Hold on. Yeah, I guess that's kind of middle. I don't know. Preheat oven, wash and dry produce. I'll do that as we go. Cut the potatoes into 1/2 inch thick wedges. Okay, so let's just go ahead and do that first. I'm going to take our looks like JV's Tech just cheered 1337 bits. Wow. That's amazing. JV's Tech, thank you very much. 1,337 bits. And also Hazium has resubscribed. Okay, let's take a look here. This is called a grater, and I'm going to put our potatoes in it like so. Any professional chefs out there will know exactly why I'm doing this. But we're going to run this under some water so that we can clean it. So let's go over here. All of the earthiness of it is going to be on the outside, and it'll fall through the strainer. Okay. If you're just joining us right now, we are making smothered and stuffed meatloaves. And we're going to start by cutting our potato into 1/2 inch thick wedges. So we're going to grab a knife here. Looks like Jolly Austin 1 just tipped $20. Jolly Austin 1, that's incredibly generous of you. Thank you very much. I'm going to try to think of something cool that we can do with that $20. And I'm open if chat wants to give us some ideas of things that we can buy for Henry's Kitchen with Jolly Austin 1's donation. $20. Think Bed Bath & Beyond. I think maybe a new can opener would be good. Maybe I could get a really good stainless steel one. But let's start cutting these wedges. Thanks, Jolly Austin 1. That's very kind of you. And by the way, more music to come. All right, so it says that it wants it in half-inch thick wedges. I don't have, well, no, I do have a tape measure here. So this potato, every potato is a different size. This one's about 3 inches. So we're going to want to cut it into 6 ways, basically. No. Because if I cut it across, then I'm going to have 8. So I think I'm just going to do them like that. Let's see here. These are cutting very nicely too, which means that they're good quality potatoes. I had a potato once that I bought from the local supermarket here that not only was a totally different color than any potato I've ever seen, but it was almost impossible to cut through. I was using a spoon, but that was back when I didn't want to use sharp objects in the kitchen because I had cut myself so many times. But now I'm getting good at it. It's still dangerous, but you know what? If you don't take some chances and live off the edge, then what are you really doing? Okay. I might cut these more. These look big. By the way, these are real potatoes. They're not photographed, which we've determined. But they're supposed to be a half-inch thick. So I'm going to take some of our bigger ones here and I'm going to cut them again. Let's just see how we're doing. Yeah, so these are 3.5 inches. Alright. I know that a lot of you guys are like, well, is this really the product for me? And the only way that I can help you in that decision is by doing the best that I can. And that's what I'm doing. It's all you can do, really. Okay, so we've got our potatoes there, pretty nicely cut, if I must say so myself. Of course, I have been doing this a long time. So if you're at home and you're trying to cut potatoes along with us and yours look like shit, don't be down on yourself. Don't quit. Don't go out drinking. Or, you know, you could drink if you want, I guess. But just don't be too hard on yourself. Because it's not the end of the world. All right, let's see. Adenosine says, I'm only 1.85 inches. Okay. So you've got a measuring tape there too. Okay, great. Archmage Kale says, Henry taught me alcoholism. No, I want to make sure that we here at Henry's Kitchen neither pass judgment nor encourage the behavior of anyone out there. Okay, next thing it wants us to do is we're going to halve, core, and thinly slice our bell pepper into strips. Okay, let's start working with bell pepper, guys. I don't think that we've done this on the show yet, but I'm going to show you how to do it. This is a bell pepper. It contains something called capsaicin, which is an extremely toxic chemical that varies in heat. Like you've probably heard of a jalapeno pepper. That's going to burn your tongue for days. This is probably the mildest one. It has just enough capsaicin in there to give you just sort of a little bit of a kick, but not too much. That's our oven is already ready, so we're feeling good about that. I'm going to halve, and then I'm going to quarter our green pepper. And then I'm going to core it. By coring it, they mean take out this part. Be very careful with this knife. There's literally no food out there that's so good that you should risk cutting yourself for, or a family member. Okay, so I wonder if that's all. It also says now, and then thinly sliced. So I'm going to look at the example that they've got there. I don't know if you can see. I don't know if you can see, but theirs is pretty thin. So I'm gonna cut these pretty thin here. So I'll cut our halves and our quarters into halves and quarters. I think that's probably pretty close. Hey Santa, how many pieces is half a quarter of green pepper? Oh shit.
From telegram.com.
Cut myself a little bit.
Cut each quarter in half crosswise, creating 8 chunks from each pepper.
Okay. There's that. I think that's pretty thin. I think we're doing it. Okay, Fallen says Santa is drunk already. Hey Santa, are you drunk?
Sorry, I don't know that.
Yeah, no, I've had that too, where you don't know. I think Santa should probably be very careful if he gets pulled over and if they ask him if he's drunk. I don't think that's going to work to just say, sorry, I don't know. Boopit Bap says, blood only adds more flavor to the food. I never go without it in my food. Yeah, well, I've had it in there quite a bunch. It's sort of an odd metallic kind of a taste to it. All right. If you're just joining us, we're making the EveryPlate smothered and stuffed meatloaves with potato wedges. EveryPlate is a meal service where they send you the ingredients and you make it. And it literally comes out to $1.49 per awesome meal that you're having. And I'm just going to go ahead and read you the website information. Go to everyplate.com and use code POGHANLIPS149. So that's POGHANLIPS149. And for just $1.49 per meal in the first box and 20% of the next 2 boxes. 20% off of the next 2 boxes. So I think the link is underneath the Twitch window or whatever, but we have it up there. And I've been doing this and I like it a lot. There was another thing I was going to say about it. Oh yeah, it's really cheap, and I think the reason that it's so cheap is that they're taking advantage of the fact that from their end they have tons of green peppers, for example, or I don't know, pepper jack cheese or whatever. So they're just going to take little bits of it and send it out to all their customers. Whereas if you're an individual, you're going to be forced to buy way more cheese than you need, and you wind up wasting it. So I think it's a pretty good idea. Now, I do like cooking myself. So I will always be a chef throughout the rest of my life. Wait, I forgot what I was going to say. The domain GPCE says, might I suggest you make your code HenLips42069. It would sell better. Yeah, unfortunately, I can't do that. I think the 149 here stands for the $1.49 that it costs you. And yeah, so what we're doing here is we're making 2 servings. So we're going to have 2 meals that are going to come out to probably roughly $2.98 for the 2 meals, which is pretty amazing considering that I recently paid $180 for a Christmas tree, and it turns out it's not even a real Christmas tree. It's just, but that's different. I think I got ripped off. Purple donut filling is fruit. I have always wondered what human meat tastes like. Yeah, I would imagine it's probably tasty. I mean, why wouldn't it be? I don't know. Alexa, fart for me, says, have you thought about pitching Weenie Bites recipes to EveryPlate? No, that's a very, very good idea. I think
I'm not sure.
I think it's a really good idea. Dr. Bob Klein says chicken. Oh, he's had human meat apparently, I'm guessing. Okay, this is the part that I've been kind of dreading, but it's time, guys. Normally I would have been very apprehensive going into this next segment because I'm going to be cooking our onion, and my onion goggles were not strong enough to keep the stimulation of my lacrimose response from tearing up my eyes. So instead, I got a welder's helmet, which has been termed in the Discord the Onyo helm, which I'm going to be wearing. But it says that we want to peel and thinly slice our onion. So here we go. Now this might seem a little bit extreme to some of you, and I don't say that you have to wear one of these, but if you've been cutting onions as long as I have, and you get annoyed by the fact that it gives you this this tearing up problem, then I highly suggest you do something about it. And I think that this is probably just as good of a thing to do as anything. Hopefully you'll still be able to hear me. But let's go ahead now and take a look at what we've got here. We've got another cutting board where we're going to use our onion. Also, it's a little hard to see inside this thing, but I'll still try to get to some of your questions here. Mad Banners has resubscribed. Thanks, Mad Banners. Okay. Might need a sound test with the helmet. Yeah. Robbins brings up a good point. Do you hear me? Help. 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 Do you hear me okay? I guess it's quieter. Asparagus. Michaela Sims gifted 10 tier 1 subs. Thanks, Michaela Sims. All right. Let's go back. Very nice of you, Michaela. Gifted 10 tier 1 subs. That's very generous of you. Thank you. And Not My Dog Man has resubscribed. Okay. Purple donut filling is fruit. When I see your reflection, it's like Inception. Yeah, I imagine that you're probably seeing my screen, which is shining right back at me, which would be weird. Ivan on my own says, what are we cooking today? We are cooking from the EveryPlate meal service collection, smothered and stuffed meatloaves, and we are currently about to cut our onions. And so I'm protective headwear. I'm donned in protective headwear. The word don means to put on, like you probably know the Christmas song, Don We Now Our Gay Apparel. Don We Now Our Onyo Helm. Okay, so here we go. It says to peel it. I generally just let it peel while I'm cutting it, but I think I want to try to do everything right today. Not right, but whatever, according to their directions. Yeah, see, this is a waste of time, in my opinion, to to peel an onion because it's going to come off when you cut it. Let's make sure that we know how much onion we want. We want one full yellow onion, and we want to thinly slice it. So I'm going to take off this nasty part. I never like that outside part. Okay, now let's just start cutting. Let me take more of the outside off here. If there's any professional chefs out there, I've had people say that they don't like my technique, but I want to say that there's as many techniques of cutting an onion as there are grains of sand on the beach. And you don't need to be ashamed or let people shame you for doing it the way that you like to do it. As long as you're being safe, that's the only thing. Just wear some kind of protection. Okay? It says thinly slice, which is a little vague. Hey Santa, what does thinly slice your onion mean?
According to an Alexa Answers contributor, think of the onion as a globe. To thinly slice our onion, we want to cut along the lines of longitude from root to tip. Trim off the tip and the root, cut the onion in half from pole to pole, and then slice each half radially with your knife slightly angled toward the middle of the onion.
Okay, so again, everybody's got their technique. Oh boy. I think we're just about there. I would say cutting onions is probably one of the most important skills in the kitchen, next to maybe removing eggshell from a work bowl. There we go. Okay, I think this is plenty of onion. We have officially cut our produce. Damn, that thing's really hard to get off sometimes. Okay. Perfect. Absolutely no lacrimatory response in my eyes whatsoever. I feel like I have hacked the problem of onion crying. Okay. Toss potatoes on a baking sheet with a drizzle of oil, teaspoon of fry seasoning, which we have. Okay. I'm going to set our onions and all of our other stuff aside. I know you've got a lot of questions, so I'm going to get to them in a second. We want to get a sheet, a cookie sheet or whatever. This one is absolutely filthy. So I'm going to cover it with some tin foil, or aluminum foil, sorry. I know that the younger people always correct me when I say tin foil, because apparently aluminum foil is the politically correct way to say it. Tin foil is problematic. All right. There we go. It says that it wants us to Toss the potatoes on a baking sheet with a drizzle of oil. Okay. We are doing just that. By drizzle, I don't know. Hey, Santa, how much is a drizzle of oil?
According to an Alexa Answers contributor, a drizzle is about a tablespoon or 15 milliliters.
Okay, so they could have just said tablespoon, but they try to keep us guessing here. They always do that. So I've got this, which is a spoon that you would use at the table, so I don't see what's wrong with it. Boobs UK just cheered 1 bits twice, so thanks. And Anonymous gifted a tier 1 sub to Best Mod 2022. Thanks, Anonymous and Michaela Sims. And Not My Dog, man. Thank you all. Okay, let's go ahead and do 1 tablespoon to make our drizzle. Something like that. And it says that it wants us now to toss our potatoes and put 1 teaspoon of our fry seasoning. 8:30 reservation at Dorsia has subscribed to you. Thank you. Thanks, 8:30 reservation at Dorsia. I don't know if that sounds like a cool restaurant. Sorry, I really need to concentrate here. It's getting difficult. Boobs UK cheered 69 bits. There's that number, 69. Thank you. I need to take a moment. It says toss potatoes on a baking sheet with drizzle of oil, 1 teaspoon fry seasoning. Okay, so let's go ahead and toss first. No, let's get our 1 teaspoon of fry seasoning. I don't have my... Wait, is this the fry seasoning? Yeah. Beelzeby gifted a tier 1 sub to Taintacles. Taintacles is a great name. It sounds like some kind of a super villain or something. Here's 1 teaspoon. There we go. 1 teaspoon of our fry seasoning, along with Boobs UK just cheered 69 bits. That was my phone. I'm going to turn that off. Okay. We've got oh yeah, salt and pepper. I think we're going to do salt and pepper to taste. When they say salt and pepper to taste, what they mean is you want to do enough salt and pepper to where you start to taste it, which is usually about, hey Santa, how much salt before you taste it? We're putting Santa to work a lot here, and he's not necessarily coming up to the task here. But here we go. We're tossing and tossing. We're going to roast this on the top rack until it's browned and crispy, or in other words, about 20 to 25 minutes. If you guys have been students of mine for a long time, I'm going to test you. How much is, when it says that it wants 20 to 25 minutes, how much does that mean that we're supposed to put it in for? There you go. Giraffe Guy got it. 22.5. That's exactly in the middle between 20 and 25. Thank you. And a lot of other correct answers there too. Archmage Kale said 45. Yeah, no, that's not right at all. You added, but you're supposed to take the average. Boobs UK just cheered 51 bits. Okay, we have tossed. No way, roast beef. You're not going to ruin this for me. This meal's going well. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to have that tone. I feel guilty. Okay. So it says we're going to toss our potatoes, which we did, roast on the top rack until browned and crispy, 20 to 25 minutes. Hey Santa, set timer for 22.5 minutes.
Oh, on Dasher, on Dancer. Oh, I'm so sorry. I thought you said it's time. Oh, set a timer. I've got it. Ah, yes. 22 minutes and 30 seconds, starting now.
Okay. You're right. I think Santa is drunk. Okay. Quanto says 3 out of 10 boxes. Wow. Oh, at first I was thinking, well, is that the answer to how long you're supposed to put it in there? Wow. There's been 3 people that have gotten boxes from EveryPlate. I appreciate it. And once again, this is really, it's really good. I wouldn't tell you if it wasn't. If you're just joining us, we're demonstrating how to make smothered and stuffed meatloaves from the EveryPlate meal service. If you're interested in becoming a part of the EveryPlate situation, go to everyplate.com and use code POGHENLIPS149, all one word, for just $1.49 per meal in the first box and 20% off the next 2 boxes. It's a good deal. I think it's pretty hard to poke any holes in it, to be honest with you. Alexa, fart for me, please. Cheered 100 bits. Thank you, Alexa, fart for me, please.
I don't know that.
Special K-hole. Cheered 100 bits. Boobs UK. This is really exciting, you guys. Have another sip of my coffee here. We got a restless cat. All right, so we've done 2 steps. Let's go to step 3. And by the way, it normally doesn't take this long. Obviously, I am taking a long time because I'm answering your questions, like this one from Limpy. I think your painting might be upside down. Yeah, we were talking about that. As a matter of fact, quite a few people have said that. I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start having it for the first hour. I'll have it one way. The next hour I'll have it the other way. That way we know that we're getting it right at least half the time. It's like the broken clock theory. Essity Tiss says, I loved your story about tracking dog shit. Yes, this was, there was a place in Kansas. I was on a long drive and I stopped at a place called, it was called like this Dunsmore House or something, and it was built by a Civil War veteran. And it was historic, and it was a museum, and there were a lot of old people that were dropped off by a bus, and I was smoking at the time, and I went around the corner and snuck in a cigarette, and I guess I stepped in some kind of dog shit or whatever, and then I went into the museum and tracked the dog shit throughout all of this fancy handmade spiral staircase and wood and all this stuff, and a couple of the elderly people noticed that it was on my shoe, and they told the not security, but like, the manager of the place, and they tried to get me to pay $250 for a cleaning fee. So I just got in my car and I drove as fast as I could, and I didn't even look back to see if they were following me. But I made it to the Colorado border safely, and I've never looked back, and I've never been in Kansas since then. I understand later that they wound up losing their funding, and I hope it had nothing to do with me tracking dog shit through the place. So, there you go. Sergey Nazarov. Henry, sometimes I like to squat on the floor and put my arms around my knees and lean forward until my forehead touches the ground. Okay, maybe that's yoga? I think I've heard of people doing that. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at our next order of business here. Meanwhile, in a large bowl, which we should have, we've got a work bowl here. You can see my cat roast beef in the background there. In a large bowl, we're going to soak our bread with 2 tablespoons of water, and we're going to break it up with our hands until it's pasty. Interesting. Okay, I'm not sure I've ever done this. Let's grab our bread here and let's take it out of the packaging. And there we have it. And we want, what did it say? It wants 2 tablespoons of water. So I should have our tablespoons here. It's actually kind of difficult to get water from this dispenser, but I can't think of any easier way to do it. That's 2 tablespoons water. We're going to break it up with our hands until it's pasty, and we're going to add our beef and the remaining fry seasoning and a pinch of salt and pepper, and we're going to mix to combine. I like to read several in advance so that we don't wind up screwing ourselves. Okay, break it up with your hands until pasty. I haven't really worked with bread in this manner, but I'm always open to new things. It says break it up with your hands. I guess bread is basically just paste when you think about it, if you're putting water on it. This would be a good time for me to get some of your questions. Dark and stormy nights, can you get bread without the crust? Asking for a friend. I don't think so. I think the crust is inherent to the bread. Udfall 14, this is an old technique the pilgrims used. Oh, interesting. I didn't know that. Archmage Kill, hey Henry, I got fired from my job and got into an accident and my wife left me. Anyway, what kind of bread does this recipe use? Yeah, so this is just white bread, I believe. Or white if you pronounce the H sound in there. Can I use bread paste as toothpaste too? Parasitosis says. I would imagine you could. Any kind of paste. It's not going to have the fluoride, which apparently is what you want to really get those teeth spotless. Quanto says, Henry, raid alerts aren't working right now. You'll have to read them manually. Oh, did we get a raid? Okay. Thanks for the heads up. Here. My hands are covered with bread paste, but wow, Prone just rated our channel with 222 viewers. Prone, thank you very much for rating the channel. That's very kind of you. And if you're just joining us now, we're making smothered meatloaf with potato wedges, which is part of the EveryPlate meal service where they send you the ingredients and then you make the dish yourself. I am an incredibly experienced chef. I've been teaching it for 11 years and cooking for about 8 years. And so if yours doesn't look as good as what I'm doing here, then, you know, don't feel bad. It's just a matter of time. Okay. El Carnage Asada says, what a coincidence. Prone looks like smothered loaf. It sounds like this is maybe a beef going on between Prone and... I can't see the name anymore. Archmage Kale. Henry is a master chef. Well, I don't know if I would use the word master. I would probably say more like accomplished. But yeah, I mean, I've been doing it a long time. Six Ween 5 says, I can't help but feel inadequate at the sight of your craft. Well, again, I don't want you to feel bad for yourselves. This part that I'm doing right here is not actually very difficult. We're basically just breaking up the bread into a paste. You just basically took a piece of white bread and turned it into a paste. Sikoto Bo 3 MK2, what kind of alcohol would you recommend to get over being a loser? I would say Jameson whiskey. It's probably my choice. Cold Light Crack. Wait, it's Cold Light Oracle. Do you have any tips on how to get a woman's attention? I am trying to learn how to cook like you, so maybe, yeah. I believe the way that the expression goes is that the way to a woman's stomach is through her heart. And what they mean by that is that you want to cook for her, basically. Okay, so the next thing we're doing here is break up your hands, add beef. So this is our ground beef. We're going to add this. I do have to say they really do make everything pretty easy for you. We're going to have just as much ground beef here as we're going to need. I don't work with beef products a whole lot, but for demonstration purposes, I think it's important. You're not supposed to have too much red meat in your life because it's high in something. I want to say also these meals are flexible. If you're a vegan or a vegetarian or whatever, they've got plenty of dishes for you, some great bowls and etc. But if you're a meat eater, they've got plenty of stuff like that too, and that's what we're probably demonstrating right now. So I think what we're going to do here is now we're going to add the fry seasoning and the salt, and we're going to mix to combine. Here's the rest of our fry seasoning, which they gave us. It smells pretty good. Pinch of salt. Hey Santa, how much is a pinch of salt?
According to an Alexa Answers contributor, a pinch of salt is supposed to be half of a dash or 1/16 teaspoon.
Okay, so I might have done a little more of that than I needed to. There's a couple other points here that I want to make about the product here. EveryPlate's quality ingredients come carefully packed and pre-portioned, helping you save money and reduce food waste. Choose between 17 recipes that change each week. Swap proteins, veggies, and sides to your liking. But the most important thing here, I believe, that should be run home is that this is a very affordable way to have a meal service. You're not, I mean, you saw when I opened it, it's a cardboard box, so you don't have all these different plastic things that you're throwing away and feeling guilty about. I do anyway, but we had something here. Froginator has subscribed. Thanks, Froginator. And thanks again to Prone, who rated our channel with 224 viewers. Thanks, Prone. I appreciate that. Alexa, fart for me, please. Cheered 100 bits. That's amazing. Special K-hole.
Sorry,
Boobs.
I'm not sure.
Boobs UK. Beelzebub. Michaela Sims. So I really appreciate that, everyone. We're going to have... Alexa, how much time left on the timer? Hey Santa, how much time left on the timer?
You have 8 minutes and 30 seconds left on your 22-minute and 30-second timer.
Okay, again, that's not the real Santa. That's just a promotion that's going on with the Amazon Echo product line. Let's get back to our work here. So we've got our mixture. We're going to mix it to combine. I'm going to just use my hands because I'm alone with my cat who's somewhere. I don't know where he is. I'll have to do a welfare check on him. But basically we're just combining this fry seasoning that they gave us along with that bread that we broke down into a paste and our salt. I don't know if doing it with your hands is the right way to do it, but I gotta say, if it's not the right way to do it, then I don't want to be right because it feels good. Kippawa says Satan's essence has been distilled and uploaded to the Amazon servers. Santa. Oh, that might have been a Freudian slip in there. Never really occurred to me that Satan is an acronym for Santa. Maybe there is some kind of conspiracy there. Okay, so now we have a big meatball, but we're not making meatball, we're making meatloaf. So we're going to flatten the meatloaf mixture into 2 half-inch thick rounds. Okay. 2 half-inch thick rounds, which I assume are going to go into the oven. So let's see. Let's get 2 rounds, whatever that is, and I'm going to wash my hands. Let's get another I have another cookie sheet here. This one is absolutely filthy, so I am going to put some tin foil over, aluminum foil. I'm trying to learn the new lingo. Over the top here. I think I'm going to spray it down. Or no, you know what? I'll use our oil on the bottom here. And I know you guys have tons of questions and I'm going to get to them. But meanwhile, let's do this part. We're going to flatten the meatloaf mixture into 2 half-inch thick rounds. Here's one. And then here's another one. So we're really coming up with 2 meatloaves here, which is exciting. And I'm gonna wash my hands again. I just don't think it's a good idea to walk around with raw meat on your hands, especially if you're shaking people's hands. Although I know people do it. We're going to reserve half the cheese for topping, and we're going to divide the remaining cheese. This is great. They give it all to you between the centers of each round. And we're going to fold the meat around the cheese. Oh, I see. So it's cheese stuffed. Shaping and sealing to create 1-inch tall loaves. Place on a second baking sheet. Middle rack 20 minutes. You'll glaze. Okay. This is not cooking 101, you guys. This is pretty advanced stuff. I'm going to go ahead. Can you hear me, by the way? Help! Sanus Florida Man says, when do you suffocate the meat loaves? I think that might be what we're going to do now. I'm supposed to take half of this cheese. Not yet, actually. First, I have to make holes in the meat. So, I see where they're going with this. We want a cavity in our meat. And then we're going to take half of our cheese. We're going to put cheese inside of our loaves. And then we're going to surround it with the sides so that what we basically have here is a meatloaf with cheese inside of it. So it took me a little while to understand where they were going with this, but now I see it very clearly. So I apologize if anybody was confused in the meantime. While I'm doing this, let me just see if anybody's got questions. GoBot says, wow, this meal might be the best yet. Is it your cooking, or is EveryPlate just so easy and convenient? Well, I will say that they do good work, and they've got good chefs there, and they're making it easy for me. Sorry about that. Here, I'm gonna mute my phone here. Hold on a second here. Let's see if that worked. I didn't really do a great job with the cheese situation here. And I'm lamenting that a little bit, so I'm going to take a little bit from the side. But wow, we've got this is probably going to be some pretty tasty meatloaf because it's got that fry seasoning plus some bread in there and salt and pepper. There you go. This is 2 1-inch loaves, exactly like they were telling us to do. Fold the edges around the cheese, shaping and sealing to create 1-inch tall loaves. Place on a second baking sheet. Bake on the middle rack for 20 minutes. Here we go. Hey Santa, set timer for 20 minutes.
I'm used to working around the clock near Christmas time. Let's do this. Second timer, 20 minutes, starting now. Do you want to name this timer?
No. Okay. Hey Santa, how much time on the first timer?
You have 2 timers. A 22-minute and 30-second timer with about 30 seconds left, and a 20-minute timer with about 19 minutes left.
Okay, so in 30 seconds, our first timer is going to be done, and then we're going to take our potatoes out. Hey Santa, stop timer. Okay. If you want to see what these look like, these are our potato wedges, drizzled with oil and scattered with fry seasoning and just a dash of salt and pepper to taste. We're going to set these aside. And those are extremely hot, so we're not going to touch those for a second. This is the part where I'm confused. I don't know. We've got some time here. Purple donut filling as a fruit asks, where are the black burnt bits? Yeah, I think they're underneath the tin foil. That's why I used, the aluminum foil. Saguaro U says they look very wedgy and delicious. Saguaro U reminds me that we have more songs to do. So why don't we go ahead and do that now? Hey Santa, how much time left on the timer?
You have 17 minutes left on your 20-minute timer.
Okay. This is turning out to be pretty epic, but it's going to be good. Oh, and also, Anonymous gifted a tier 1 sub to Prone. That's very cool of Anonymous to do that. ESTD1759 has subscribed. Thanks, ESTD. Froginator and Prone rated. Thanks. Okay. We have a request for a song. Might be a little depressing, but Borsenvin tipped $5. Thanks, Borsenvin. Boy, there's some nice donations here. I'm trying to think of what could work here. Maybe a new cutting board, because as you can tell, we need a lot of them. Knocking on Heaven's Door. This is a song that was written by a guy named Bob Dylan, and it was requested on the Discord by Plib, P-L-I-B-B, and I'm going to do the best that I can to do it justice. Hey Santa, how much time left? Mama, take this badge off of me. I can't use it anymore. It's getting dark, too dark to see. Feel like I'm knocking on heaven's door. Bradley resubscribed. Thanks, Bradley. Knock, knock, knocking on heaven's door. Knock, knock, knocking on heaven's door. Knock, knock, knocking on heaven's door. Hey, hey, hey. Knock, knock, knocking on heaven's door. Mama, put my guns in the ground. I can't shoot them anymore. That long black cloud is coming down. Feel like I'm knocking on heaven's door. Knock, knock, knocking on heaven's door. Kippawa cheered 100 bits. Thanks. Knock, knock, knocking on heaven's door. Poop Thrower Kid has resubscribed. Knock, knock, knocking on heaven's door. That was out of key. Knock, knock, knocking on heaven's door. Oh. Erotica Reading Rabbi says to Quanto, you should get... Oh, it went by. Get Henry to set up to put his VODs on YouTube if they aren't already. Yeah, that's in the works, and Quanto's helping me with that. We're eventually just going to have a link of all of the streams that we've done ever since we started back in May. And I'll put it on the Discord, I think. That would be the best way to do it. Speaking of the Discord, I'm going to do my thank you song. This is a song that goes out to all the people that have helped out from the beginning of Henry's Kitchen back in, I think it was May. It was about a year ago that Nim had me on his podcast to teach him how to make a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. And it's just been a journey since that time. And So this goes out to the streamers, the moderators, the maintainers of the Discord channel, and the technical people, and just generally speaking, the people who have helped out a lot. Not that everybody hasn't helped out a lot, but here we go. And it's to the tune of Roger Miller's King of the Road. Falcon and Dingo Bop, Dom Beef and Hot Bear 1110, Do Dingle Dog Goggle, Dr. Flanges and Bacchus, and also Shane, yes, Beelzebub, Daisy Blossom and Sir Doom, Bumble Vision and the LGX, Pilsquin Melon 95, Keychain, Nymph-Forsen and Moon Moon, XQC and Amberoo, Espond and Bunny Rabbit 2, and don't forget Quanto. There you go. We have another song request here from someone named, oh gosh, Daz. D-A-Z, Daz. Wanted to hear this song that's from the 70s, so I should know it. That's usually my sort of area of expertise when it comes to music. But E. Kunks just gifted 5 Tier 1 subs. Thanks, E. Kunks. And Broken Arrow has resubscribed for 7 months. Amazing. And I'm going to do the best I can with this song. It's Glenn Campbell. Southern nights. Have you ever felt the southern night? Free as a breeze, not to mention the trees, whistling tunes you don't love. See, I knew this was going to be bad. Southern nights, just as good as even when you're close your eyes. I apologize to anyone who could truly say they found a better way. Okay, I'm gonna work on that and I'm gonna get it better. But sorry, we've got more cooking to do. But thanks, Daz. I always like a challenge, and that's a song that I thought I was more familiar with that I can't seem to remember some of the melody lines with. And by the way, I'm going to get to everybody's songs, but we've got more business to do here. What we have now is while the meatloaves bake, we're supposed to heat a drizzle of oil in a large pan. So let's go ahead and do that now. I'm going to put our work bowl aside. I'm running out of surface space here, but we're going to do okay. I've got my hot plate, which is, it looks dirty, but it's not. It's just a lot of oil and stuff that's gathered over the years. But what we're supposed to do here is we're supposed to insert our pepper into it. So we want another drizzle of oil. So let's go ahead and let's do high and start that. Drizzle of oil, I believe, was 1 tablespoon. There you go. Swish that around a little bit. Ooh, that's hot already. I didn't think it was going to get hot that quick. Wash my hands. Meanwhile, add the bell pepper and the onion. Bell pepper. And the onion. And I need a spatula of some sort. And we're going to drizzle this around. Try to... Wow. Quanto just told me we have 5 EveryPlate boxes that you guys have ordered. I think it's really cool to hear that, because honestly these things are great. Now I don't believe that you can have them delivered to you in countries outside of the US. You'll have to double check that for me, but if you have a friend in the US that you want to do it as a gift, I'm sure it would be a very innovative and interesting thing to do. So once again, let me read. Oh, well, now where's my phone here? Oh yeah. Got to read to you the information. You want to go to everyplate.com and use code POGHENLIPS149 for just $1.49 per meal in the first box and 20% off the next 2 boxes. That's pretty darn cheap, and it's real. It's true, because I've been doing it. But don't worry, I'm still going to be making my own creations, because that's what I was put here on this earth to do, is to be a cooking explainer, I guess, of sorts. Okay, it wants us to keep stirring this until it's brown and tender. About 7 to 8 minutes, which of course means 7 minutes and 30 seconds if you average those out. Add 2 tablespoons of water. Let's do that now. Got our tablespoons. How many was that? 1? It's very smoky in here. I'm going to turn off the, or I'm going to open the door. Yeah, I don't know if this hot plate situation is really the best thing. Here, I want to see if anybody has any questions here. St. Florida man says the peppers are releasing their capsaicin. Yeah, there's a good deal of that going on. As a matter of fact, I'm just saying that you can't be too careful when it comes to capsaicin. Tepid temptation, there's not enough oil. Oh boy. Let's see here. Gobot says, remember not to put water on an oil fire. Well, I guess it's a little bit late for that. Alexa, how much time left on the timer?
You have 3 minutes and 50 seconds left on your 20-minute timer.
Oh, I didn't set a timer for this one. Quanto says that we are at the 2-hour mark and that it's time for the union-mandated painting flip. I think that's probably going to be the best solution from now on, so that everybody has an equitable amount of time with the painting the way that they like it. All right. All right, I think the smoke has dissipated enough so that I don't need the Onyo helm. And this stuff is pretty, I'd say pretty well cooked at this point. Season with salt and pepper. Let's go ahead and do that now. And some pepper. There we go. And it wants butter. So what does it say? It wants 1 tablespoon of butter. Whatever. You can't have too much butter in a dish. Stir it up. Okay. Turn off the heat, and we're going to cover this up to keep it warm once it's all stirred up. I have a cover. Ow! Hot. Okay, so we're going to go ahead, and the sides of this are a little too warm for my liking, and I'm running out of surface space. Shit. Hold on. Probably better to use the oven mitt even in situations where you're not sure if you need it or not. Okay. Hearing some strange noises. You guys hear bells? It's Kate X says maybe if you put the painting on the short side. Okay, we'll do that at the end because I want people that wanted it this way to have their fair amount of time. Alexa, stop. Okay, that sounds like it's ready. While the veggies cook, in a small bowl, combine mustard, 3 tablespoons, etc. Oh boy. Okay. We're a little bit off in terms of our timing, but I think it's going to be okay. This thing's hot. I'm going to unplug that. All right. We're going to take our meatloaf out at this juncture. Ow. Even through the thing, it's very hot. Son of a gun. Whew. Okay. I've got it on top of a cutting board on top of the box, so I'm hoping that that's going to work. Okay. Computer Japan says he's in the weeds. Yeah, no, we're really deep in. We're not out of the weeds, that's for sure. So we have to make a sauce now, and we have to do it quickly. So everybody's gonna have to just let me concentrate a little bit for this. It was supposed to be while the veggies were cooking. In a small bowl, let's grab a small bowl. I've got one. We're gonna combine, but they do make it easy for you because the mustard is already here. So we're gonna combine, how much mustard? 1 Dijon mustard. And there's that. We also need 3 tablespoons of ketchup. 1, 2, I used pretty much all my ketchup. 3, 2 teaspoons of brown sugar, which we pulled out. I'm going to use my half teaspoons. Hey Santa, how many half teaspoons is 1 teaspoon of brown sugar? I think Santa's passed out or something. How much did it say? This is half a teaspoon. So we need 2 teaspoons, so I'm going to go 4. So it's going to be a little bit sweet, I guess. And it wants us to combine this. I want you to be able to see what I'm doing here. This is exciting. You know, obviously I've made stuff like this before, but I like to follow the directions of other professional chefs to find out how they've arrived at whichever conclusions they've arrived at in terms of how to make certain things. And this looks like it's a ketchup glaze, they're calling it. And now we're going to take our meatloaves out. That's done. Next up, we've got our meatloaves. I think I'm going to make 2 plates of this. Okay. Oh wait, no, we're not ready yet. Jeez. We have to take our meatloaves and we have to sprinkle them. I hope this is not too hot. Okay. We have to carefully brush the tops with our ketchup glaze. So I need a spoon or something to do that with. Here, I'll do it with this. I know there's some announcements I need to make, so I'll be doing that in a second. But right now I'm very focused on trying to pull this off. So brush the tops, and then we're going to sprinkle evenly with our reserved cheese. So let's go ahead and sprinkle with cheese. It actually wants a pretty fair amount of cheese. And I want to make sure that I used enough oil underneath this. Yeah. I think I'm probably going to use a clean tin foil. I really apologize about how filthy this thing is. Sorry, aluminum foil is what I meant. There we go. Let's use a drizzle of our oil. Spread it around a bit. And now let's wash our hand a little bit here. Boy, I'm finding that I'm running out of counter space, which is unfortunate. There we go. Sometimes it's nice to have a whole fresh new start. when it comes to your placement. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. It smells like I'm at a nice restaurant or something. It smells really good. Okay, so now it wants us to put return the sheet to the middle rack until cooked through. About 3 to 5 minutes, so they mean 4, obviously. So let's go ahead and do that now. Is this hot? Oh, it really isn't. Hey Santa, set timer for 4 minutes.
Every countdown just feels so exciting. 4 minutes, starting now.
Okay, we're almost done, guys. If you're just joining us, this broadcast of Henry's Kitchen is sponsored by a meal service company called EveryPlate, and we're making, right from their box, the smothered and stuffed meatloaves. And it's going smoothly. It's challenging because I like to be very particular and OCD when I cook. But I think we're in for a really nice meal. I've used this service before and it's really good. So I'm just going to say once again, the way to get to be a part of this is you go to everyplate.com and you use code POGHENLIPS149, all one word, for just $1.49 per meal in the first box. And then 20% off the next 2 boxes. It's an incredible deal. If you're into more vegetarian, or if you're just a chicken eater or a pescatarian, which is fish, you can choose meals that work for whatever your diet is. But as they say, for those looking for a quick and satisfying fix, EveryPlate offers a selection of recipes that come together in just 20 to 25 minutes, unless you're also singing songs and talking to your friends like I've been doing, which reminds me, Alexa, how much time left?
You have 2 minutes and 10 seconds left on your 4-minute timer.
Okay. That I've got a few announcements to make. Doug Goggle has resubscribed for 7 months. Thanks, Doug Goggle. And if you remember the song, Doug Goggle is also one of our people that I thank for moderating. There's a name that I can't quite read there, but they've subscribed for 5 months. Thank you very much for that. Computer Japan has subscribed as well. Thanks, Computer Japan. Anonymous just tipped $2. That's really cool. $2, which happens to be able to cover the cost of one of these meals when you break it down from EveryPlate. See, I was able to segue that in. Osoy has subscribed at Tier 1. That's very nice of you, Osoy. Anonymous gifted a Tier 1 sub to Shucks. Ekunks, Broken Arrow, Kippawa, etc. Let's see if there's any questions here. Erotica Reading Rabbi says, you are on the precipice of the cooking field. It's great being in on the ground floor with your techniques. Thank you very much. Like the song says, we started from the bottom, now we're here. And GoBot says, can I gift an EveryPlate membership to someone as a holiday gift? I'd love to give one to the homeless man down the street. I believe you can. I don't think, if someone is homeless, they usually have a P.O. box of some sort, or they have a friend who gets them their mail. I'm not really sure what the particulars are of that, but you should be able to get it for anybody that you want to give it to as a gift. Elowith says, do you prepare all of the dishes in the EveryPlate boxes yourself before sending them to us? No, Elowith, I'm glad you brought this up. This is very important. I'm not going to be cooking your meals and then sending them to you. You'll be getting all the ingredients, and then you have to make them yourself. So you have to have a basic amount of cooking skills. Alexa, stop. Okay, this is exciting. Our food is ready. Oh, shit. Okay. Wow. All right. Stop baking. Here's our meatloafs. Okay. That's our meatloafs. So now we're going to divide the meatloaves and potatoes between 2 plates, and we're going to top with our veggies. That sounds easy enough. Let's take a plate, put 1 meatloaf on top of it. See if we can focus that a little bit. You can see it's got the sauce on there as well as some melted cheese. Pepper jack cheese, no less. You can't go wrong with that. We're also going to take some of our potatoes. Which, this might be a 2-hand job here. Is this hot still? No. I think I made way too many potatoes. And I'm out of surface space. So here we have our plate of meatloaf and potatoes. It looks a little bit like steak fries. And now, oh boy, that one's hot. I can get this out of the way. Sorry about this. Fuck. Sorry. Sorry for the language. Sometimes language sneaks out when you're in the kitchen, and I apologize to the young people out there. But I want to do this right. We will now be adding our veggies on top. I need more space here, so those grilled onions smell quite delicious, I must say. All right. Now we're gonna make basically another one. If I can find the other plate. Oh, I think it's under this thing. Okay. Like this. I'm gonna get some of our potatoes. We're almost there. We have some extra potatoes that we can use for leftovers. But they're definitely not going to go to waste. And now, I'm going to put some more of our grilled onion and other goodness on top of it. Okay. So basically, I have here 2 full meals with the ingredients they gave us. It's 2 meatloaves, which is going to be plenty of your protein, topped with cheese, which is going to be your saturated fat, which makes stuff taste good. And also, you've got your potatoes, which is a starch, I believe. And you've got your veggies with the green peppers and onions. And the most important part of it is we did this. You know, I made this. with my bare hands. And not bare hands if I was using the oven mitt, but you know what I mean. It's pretty much... I'm going to get a fork here. But we did it. And I'm going to eat it right now and let you guys know what it tastes like. It's good. I'm not going to say that I couldn't have done it with my own creativity and with my own chef skills. But I will say it's nice that EveryPlate made it very easy for me to use the right amount of ingredients. I followed the directions exactly, and I came out with an end result. It's tasty. I'm gonna try the meatloaf now. It's very hot. Yeah. It's really good. I don't know what else to say. It's got this mustard sauce, which is really good. A little spicy. Wow. All right. I have two meals here, and both of them probably cost somewhere around $1.49, I think is what they've calculated them as. So that's pretty darn cheap. So I'm going to say one more time, if you guys want to be a part of this meal service called EveryPlate, the way to do it is you go to everyplate.com and you use code POGHENLIPS149. So that's all one word, POGHENLIPS 149, for just $1.49 per meal in the first box and 20% off the next two boxes. And like I have too much food in a way because I made 2 servings for the demonstration, but that's a good problem to have. JV's Tech cheered 149 bits. Osoy has subscribed. And Goggle resubscribed, etc. All right, I'm going to close the doors because we're not making smoke anymore. Hold on. But I think it's time maybe to close with a song. If I'm not missing any... Dawn Marie says, never thought I'd say this, but I'm proud of you. That's very nice of you. Thank you very much. I feel very proud of myself. It actually came out really easy. Bruce Lee says, is the cheese that comes with the box real cheese or American cheese? It's called Pepper Jack. I'm not really sure. But it's good. I did this song last night. I'm going to do it again. There's a pile of untouched gifts underneath the Christmas tree. There's a cobweb on the mantle where your stocking used to be. As I sit here broken-hearted, weeping neath the crisp mistletoe. I always get that part wrong. Holding And in my hand a ring that's made of 14-karat gold. And the puppy ate all of the sugar plums, and he threw up all over my lap. And I'm spending my Christmas Eve scooping up little pieces of sugar plum puppy colored crap. And there's a pile of unpaid collection notices scattered all over the floor. And it doesn't seem like Christmas anymore. GoBot says, why did I reserve half of the cheese again? I think they wanted half of it in the middle and then the rest you're supposed to sprinkle over the top. But I didn't even use all of it because I just thought it might be too much cheese. So I made a sorry, my own judgment on that. There's an actor playing Santa for the children on his knee, making foolish, empty promises he knows that he'll never keep. I'm sorry, guys. I'm still getting over a cold. And I didn't think I was going to have to blow my nose in the middle of the song, but this is probably the worst thing that I could have done during this song, and I apologize. But he has a flask full of whiskey that he keeps in his merry old sack, and he takes a little swig each time the manager turns his back, because Santa's nothing but an overweight, underpaid would-be thespian whore, and it doesn't seem like Christmas anymore. Oh, ho, 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 Merry Christmas to all, and to all a good night, and to all go to hell. Archmage Kill says, are you selling that used tissue? Maybe. Maybe we could give it away as sort of a holiday toy drive thing or something. From the ungrateful little bastards that sit on his lap to the ching ching cha-ching of the cash register bell, tell him Santa won't be coming to town because he's turned into an emotional wreck. From the something and the blood-sucking barons that sign all of his checks, Christmas is nothing but a big pile of corporate dog shit tied up in a ribbon and wrapped up in Yuletide decor. And it doesn't seem like Christmas anymore. That's probably the perfect wrong chord to end that song with. But anyway, this was a bonus stream, and a lot of you guys turned out for it, and I really appreciate it. I do want to thank EveryPlate for sponsoring the Henry's Kitchen stream this whole month. And I think we did a pretty good demonstration of their food, and I'm going to continue to eat it because I'm hungry and it's my lunch. So I'll probably just eat both of them, I guess. Or I'll microwave one of them, but I want to say thank you very much. I hope everybody's having a good holiday season. It's Kate X says it's at 7 EveryPlate purchases now. Wow, that's really wonderful, everybody. It does help Henry's Kitchen as well when you do that, and it tells the people at Twitch that, hey, maybe Henry's Kitchen is a real player on the scene. I don't know, but I just want to say thank you very much for this. I'm going to be doing another stream on Sunday at noon. Not really sure. If you want to recommend some stuff on the Discord, we can do that. But there's going to be music. I'm going to go back to doing some more Cooking Simulator because I think that we dropped the ball on that. We also need to make pumpkin pancakes. I think we dropped the ball on that as well. As you can tell, I drop a lot of balls. JV's Tech cheered 149 bits and Osoy subscribed, so thanks very much. But there you have it again. I'm going to say it one last time just to make sure that you guys are familiar, and I want to make sure I get it verbatim here, so I'm reading it. If you go to everyplate.com and use the code POGHENLIPS149 for just $1.49 per meal in the first box and 20% off the next 2 boxes. It's a good deal. And now I'll shut up about it, and I hope this was a fun time for you, and I appreciate everybody joining. Erotica Reading Rabbi says we need a Christmas cookie recipe. That's not a bad idea. Well, I've done on the YouTube series, I did Henry's roast beef cookies in honor of my cat Roast Beef, who's been very nice and quiet this whole time, so I appreciate that. Here, I'll do a final check-in on Roast Beef. How can I check in down here? Yeah. So that's my cat Roast Beef sleeping, so I guess he got tired. Hopefully he's not dealing with smoke inhalation, which I think I am because I didn't open the windows in time. I think I missed something here. JV's Tech cheered 149 bits. I think I already had that one, but I heard the noise. I heard the chime, but anyway. Archmage Kale, do you ever plan on doing an in real life stream in the future? This is in real life today. Today was. You mean doing it live in person? I could do that. Wow. Tim Leff says 8 out of 10. That's amazing. Thanks, Tim Leff. Shane Yes says don't stop streaming until we hit 10. That's a cool idea, but I don't know. I'd be. Computer Japan says, "Are you wheezing?" Yeah, I have some kind of an issue going on. It's a cold, but it's kind of on the way out. But I use something called Zicam, which is half zinc and half cam. I don't know, but I don't think it worked very well, and it kind of made things worse in a weird way. But let's see. Elowith says make a gingerbread house. That's a pretty good idea. That's a damn good idea. Archmage Kale says I would buy this, but they don't deliver to my small village in Uganda. I'm sorry to hear that. Do you think the beard is causing my illness? Actually, now that you say that, I think it might be. Because they happened kind of at the same time. When it turns into a cough, they say that means it's on the way out. I don't know if that's true or not. Oh, okay. Well, JV's Tech says they have a request for song. I'm going to go ahead and do it. Let's go ahead and leave on this last song here. It's one of my favorite songs. It's a Christmas song. And it seems to be pretty popular with people here. So I just need to pull up the chords. Boy. I think I need to get a new keyboard. So maybe I'll use the donated money. Borsenbin and a few others donated money, so I really appreciate that. I'm going to get a keyboard. That's what I'm going to do. I like to find it on the Ultimate Guitar. Okay, here we go. I'm going to leave you guys with this. JV's Tech. Well, so I keep hearing chimes, but I'm not... I'm not getting updates. Let me see if I... JV's Tech cheered 836 bits. Oh, for doing the song. Thank you very much. Okay. Wow, Quanto says we're at 9 out of 10. You guys are wonderful. And again, I wouldn't tell you to do this if I didn't think it was actually really good. Especially if you want to have that good feeling about yourself after cooking. Oh, It's Kate X says there's a chime for the EveryPlate purchase. Oh, okay. Well, that's very cool. That's exciting. All right, so here we go. I'm going to leave you guys with this song. It's a little number that was written by Mel Torme, a young Mel Torme, who met Nat King Cole in his Toluca Lake home way back in the mid-20th century. And the lyrics make no sense, and I don't even know if I'm getting them right because the writing of it is so small, even with my big monitor, but I'm going to do the best that I can. Hopefully this will put you in the Christmas spirit. Hey Santa, what time is it? Santa's passed out in a ditch somewhere, I guess. Hey Santa, what time is it?
The time is 2:40 p.m.
Okay. Here we go. It's very jazzy. Chestnuts toasting on an open fire. Jack Frost nipping on your toes. Tiny tots being hung by the fire. And folks dress up like dominoes. Everybody knows the turkey and some mistletoe help to make the season bright. Tiny tots with their eyes all aflame will find it hard to sleep at night. They know that Santa's on his sleigh, and he's got all the little boys and girls at play. And every mother's child and sister too is gonna see if reindeers really knows what to do. And so I'm offering a simple deal. Kids from 1 to 93, tiny tots all alone by the choir. Merry Christmas to me. Wow, we did it, guys. That's the Christmas song, Chestnuts Toasting, I believe it's called. And I want to thank everybody for joining me. And again, I appreciate you being supportive of the sponsor this month, because it is a good product and I wouldn't tell you otherwise. And so let's hang out on Sunday at noon Pacific. In the meantime, I'll be on the Discord. Thanks to everyone, and I hope your December leading into the holiday time is going swimmingly. Thanks again, everyone.